All right. This is it. The one you've been waiting for. The 1968 Topps baseball set. Basement Tapes 169. I have. This completes an epic run for me. Of course, it's my birth year set, but I have the entire set in theory. At least that's what I think. 600 cards in my collection, it says. But of course, we're open to suggestions for variations and stuff like that. Maybe I have more. I don't know, but I have to clean up my Beckett OPG there. So speaking of Beckett OPG, let's look at them and listen. Don't give me that crap about it's an ugly set, the burlap set, all that stuff. You're probably butthurt because they don't get Gem Mint 10s a lot because of their design. I don't care. They're beautiful cards. They've stood the test of time. Beautiful pictures. There's a lot going on in the bubblegum, behind the scenes in the bubblegum chicanery. The Players Association is holding out for a better deal at this point. Pictures are going to be recycled over the next couple of years. So it's historical, this set. It's the kind of getting to the end of some players and the beginning of other players, of course, legendary players. So this has a lot going on for it, the 1968 Topps baseball set. All right, I've said what my piece. 608 cards, $17.44 average value, $10,600 total value, $3,000 to $8,000 for a complete set of these. In theory, says 608, but we clearly see a discrepancy here. The cards in this 598 card set measure 2.5 by 3.5. The 1968 Topps set includes Sporting News All-Star selections as cards number 361 to 380. Other subsets in the set include league leaders 1 through 12 and World Series cards 151 to 158. The front of each checklist card features a picture of a popular player inside a circle. Higher numbers 458 through 598 are slightly more difficult to obtain. The first series looks different from the other series as it is lighter. Wider mesh background on the card front. The latter series, or later series as it's clearly spelled out, all had a much darker, finer mesh pattern. Among other fashions, cards were issued in 5-card nickel packs. Those 5-cent packs were issued 24 packs to a box. 36-card rack packs with an SRP of 29 cents were also issued. The key rookie cards in this set are Johnny Bench and Nolan Ryan. Lastly, some of the cards were also issued along with a Win a Card board game from Milton Bradley that included cards from the 1965 Topps Hot Rods and 1967 Topps football card sets. This version of these cards is somewhat difficult to distinguish, but are often found with a slight touch of the 1967 football set white border on the front, top, or bottom edge, as well as a brighter yellow card back instead of the darker yellow or gold color. The known cards from this product include card numbers 16, 20, 34, 45, 108, and 149. Of course, we know probably what the three big bangers are here. Mickey Mantle is winding down his illustrious career by probably taking a lot of maintenance days at this point, perhaps playing first base, just kind of riding out his last season, 1968 being his last season. Top 3 cards, of course, probably Ryan, Bench, and Mantle, or Ryan, Mantle, and Bench. Let's see. Let's wait. It's taking forever, Beckett. There we go. So it's Ryan. It is it's the white versions in there too. Ryan, Mantle, and Bench. And then it has the brilliant 1968 Topps number 490 Superstars with Harmon Killebrew, Willie Mays, and Mickey Mantle as well. So there are some variations in here too, but let's get to TCDB. Maybe they can shed some light on that. Again, 598 cards in theory. Teams depicted here: Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Dodgers, Twins, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Giants, Cardinals, and the Senators. Errors and variations. We have some Jim Lonborg shenanigans there. We have Senators, white, yellow, white letters, yellow letters, all that stuff. So lots of different things going on here, but nobody was harmed in this. Checklist number 7, for instance, says Major League Rookies is card 539. The erroneous version is American League Rookies. So go in there, take a look at that if you want. Lots going on. Hall of Famers are abundant, 86 of these, and proudly, I could say this is the year after Carl Yastrzemski won the Triple Crown, so he is featured on all 3 of the American League leader cards. For batting, for RBIs, and for home runs, he's featured on an All-Star card. He has his own card. He has a World Series card. He's got all of the cards going on in that set. So lovely set. Maybe that's why I love it too. So 48 rookies, of course. We talked about Nolan Ryan. We talked about Johnny Bench. Let's get down to the comments. Okay, the comments. Oh, lots of comments. This might be a record. Let's start from the back in 2012. Lots of great players in this set and a couple of great rookies, though in my opinion, one of the worst looking sets Topps ever made, as well as one of the worst quality control jobs. Of all the sets in my collection, this one seems to have the most misprints, even more so than the 1987 Donruss base set, and that's really saying something. So screw you, Shane 715. BRM 7576 says, this was the first pack of cards I ever opened. I was 6 or 7 when this came out. I remember buying them at a small grocery store. My mom also put packages of baseball cards in my Easter basket. M. Zenko says, is this the M. Zenko? Watch for bright yellow colored backs. There were some made in Milton Bradley games. The annual price guides do not show a premium for these, but the secondary market does show premium for some. Cheers, Mark. Mark, if that's you, how you doing? I hope you're well. Round the Diamonds back. He says, this is a really cool set that took some time for me to truly appreciate. That man has been enlightened. Round the Diamond 87. Ken Kinsey says, first pack I ever bought had Don Drysdale and Orlando Cepeda in it, but it was lost on a 7-year-old. I didn't buy another pack until 1970. By then, I had caught baseball fever, and I have collected ever since. So this man living with a terminal case of baseball fever. Tony R-13 says, 1968 Topps Baseball was the first pack that I ever opened. I think it was a second or third series pack. Burlap border and all. It's still a sentimental favorite of mine. Cheers to you, Tony R13. JB Trader says, this was the first pack I ever opened. Paid 5 cents and ate the gum. I still have the old creased Mickey Mantle that I collected back then, and some of the others. Some of the commons ended up being a noisemaker on the spokes of my bicycles. Good times. Folks, if you are disbelieving that people used to put these in their spokes, I hope you're a believer by now. And that's cool that this chap has still has his Mickey Mantle. All buggered up, but he still has it in his possession. J.R. Kennedy 59 says, this was the first year I ever bought a pack of cards. 9 years old. Used my Coke bottle money from construction sites. Boy, dude working construction at 9. My mom began collecting cards for me from the 1961 to 63 Post cereal and Salada coins. Got some Topps 61 to 63 from an older friend and learned to read by sorting the cards into teams based on their hat logos. Too many C's got confusing. Always hated the pictures with no hats. Sold a suitcase of mint 68 and 69 doubles to neighbor for $10. Kept my rubber band damaged full sets. Started buying complete sets from Bruce Yico at Wholesale Cards in 1970. Also started buying older cards and sets from him. Still have 1968 price book showing complete set of 1952 Topps for $199. I begged my dad to buy, but got complete set of 64 instead. Glad I found this website. Will take several years to list my cards. So Junior Kennedy 59, not a big fan of capitalizing the first word in a sentence, but that's okay with me. He's all right. Composer Mike tells us the 1968 game is another under-the-radar set that can easily be built and features so many star players and Hall of Famers. Though it is basic, the game itself is fun to play. Of course, that's the insert. We'll get to that later on. RC Copilot tells us, I remember my mom bringing home packs of these from the grocery store. I loved ripping them open and trading them with other kids on the block. At the time, I couldn't imagine how much fun I'd have throughout my life collecting cards. That's what it's all about, folks. It's not about ripping and selling. It's about ripping and enjoying and the memories. Ruff Carrigan says, the first pack of cards I remember opening was a pack of 1968 Topps, bought at a convenience store in Cooperstown, New York, after visiting the Hall of Fame. Of the cards in the pack, the only one I distinctly remember was Norm Seaburn, number 537, because he was on the Red Sox. Another thing I remember about the purchase was that above the box of wax packs was some rack packs of 1967 Topps. I didn't want them because they were old. Stupid kid, might have been high numbers. That's what he says. OBC Tom says the Cox and Brinkman Yellow Team versions listed in the checklist as Topps variations are part of the Milton Bradley Win a Card set, not true Topps variations, and thus should be removed from the 1968 Topps checklist. They can be distinguished as Milton Bradleys by their bright yellow backs. If they are to be considered Topps variations, then all 77 baseball cards in the MB set should also be listed as Topps variations, since the backs of the MB cards are bright yellow. OBC Tom is on a mission. Hopefully, you will have succeeded that mission. Of course, Topps game, we know about that. That's going to be coming up in a bit. Packaging. Let's look at the boxes. The boxes, full color, real live photo action happening. All sorts of baseball players and umpires and catchers and people at third base and fun stuff. 5-cent packs, bubblegum, Major League, that lovely curved T Topps logo. We have a Topps wax box, it looks like, beaten up, but preserved for all of us to see. The cello packs, I see a cello pack, and it's interesting that the cello pack is actually sealed on the side of the front-facing card. And on the back of the cello pack, we have the Topps game card, mysteriously hidden from the purchaser's eyes. 5-cent baseball packs, yellow, pitcher left-handed, red baseball, picture cards, one-stick bubblegum. And then there is also an advertisement, as David Letterman would say, for the Topps game there. Has the playing instructions. Perhaps I can read the playing instructions. I don't know if I can, but they're there. And let's see here. Quick playing cards. Yeah, I don't know. I can't read that. I apologize, everybody. My eyes suck. Scans suck, but there's chemical magic sets available. There's free cameras available, and outfielder or fielder flip down glasses available, and of course the umpire ball and strike indicator. The rack pack shows up. Topps new 3 10-cent packs for 29 cents, and of course it has the Topps logo now. They're not doing it through a third party or an umbrella corporation. Anyway, that's the packaging. Let's see what we got here. We have some trivia contributions. First set to contain Oakland athletics cards. Wax packs for 5 cents for 5 cards. Features the rookie cards of Hall of Famers Nolan Ryan and Johnny Bench. 598 cards, down from 609 cards in 1967. The Sporting News All-Stars subset returns after a hiatus. Back of the All-Star cards were puzzle pieces that formed pictures of Orlando Cepeda and Carl Yastrzemski. Those were your 1967 MVPs. Dick Hughes, Rick Monday, Rich Nye were each named to the 1967 Topps All-Star rookie team, but their cards are missing the trophy designation. The Rich Nye is one of the oldest cards I remember from the Cubs. I think I still have it. Him and Tony Cloninger from the Atlanta Braves are my first two that I remember, or the ones I remember the longest. The Nolan Ryan Jerry Koosman RC number 177 has an uncorrected error on its reverse, as the second S was left out of the word sensational within Nolan's bio. The first series was designated with a wider mesh border than subsequent series. So we know what they look like. I think by now we all love them. If you don't, come see me for reprogramming, and I will tell you the greatness and show you the greatness of these cards. Not a lot of big deal was made over Yastrzemski's Triple Crown year, because if you remember, in 1966, Frank Robinson had just done the same thing in the National League. So a fun little period in time with some great players, of course. And there's old Ken Holtzman, the all-time leading Jewish pitcher in baseball history. Reggie Smith, nice rookie cup there, or I guess a rookie trophy there. Lots of hatless pictures here. Of course, we have that for several reasons. Johnny Roseborough, Casey Cox, all that stuff. The checklist right there. Jim Cott is featured on card number 67. And so on and so on. So I don't need to show you too many of these, because I'm sure you already know about them. And again, if you don't love them by now, get some loving going in your life with the 1968 Topps Baseball. This is Basement Tapes 169.